Good evening. Welcome to Vibrant Hong Kong. I'm Rico.
And I'm Sharon. Good evening.
Sharon, have you ever had to experience water rationing?
Fortunately, it's not something that I've had to go through, but I do know that there was a serious drought in Hong Kong in the 1960s. There was a period of time when water was supplied for just 4 hours every 4 days. I can't even begin to imagine what that must have been like.
The most popular phrase at the time was "turn off the tap." People living on the upper floors of a residential building would often yell it out for their downstairs neighbors to hear. Such scenes have become a collective memory among many Hong Kongers from an older generation.
As amusing as that sounds, I'm sure it's something we don't want to experience. Thanks to advancements in technology and water infrastructure, water rationing is now well and truly a thing of the past.
You're right, but there's another crucial factor that we mustn't forget about. In 1965, Hong Kong began importing water from Dongjiang, ensuring a secure supply for both household and industrial use. This in turn has enabled our city to develop and flourish.
This year marks the 60th anniversary of the supply of Dongjiang water to Hong Kong. A series of activities has been held to celebrate the occasion and to remind Hong Kongers of our deep-rooted relationship with the motherland.
国家的东江水是香港的生命纪元，东江水占全香港的食水用量达到7成至8成，支撑香港经济持续发展，滋养香港市民安居乐业。
The Dancing Water Drops exhibition at Tema Park features a 28.8-meter-tall giant water drop-shaped sculpture. Created by internationally acclaimed artist Simon Ma, Showcase uses water drops as a core concept to symbolize inclusion and vitality. Water is the lifeblood of any city. It fuels our growth, sustains our communities, and supports everything from agriculture to industry. Yet in many cities around the world, even here in Oz, we're grappling with pressing issues around the water supply.
Urban growth, aging infrastructure, climate change, and population pressures are all stretching our water resources to their limits. These challenges demand our immediate attention as well as innovative solutions.
Tonight, we've invited Mr. Roger Wong, Director of Water Supplies, to shed some light on the challenges and opportunities in ensuring that this life-giving resource remains accessible, sustainable, and secure for future generations. Welcome to our show.
Oh, thank you.
Welcome. Now, Roger, please begin by sharing with us the significance of the 60th anniversary of the supply of Dongjiang water to Hong Kong.
Okay, I think many people in Hong Kong knows that Dongjiang water is the primary water resources for Hong Kong, but I think that many people don't know how major it is. And for your information, the Dongjiang water accounts for 70 to 80% of total water consumption in Hong Kong, so it is a prime water resources. And I think this is very important moments because this year is the 60th anniversary of the supply of Dongjiang water to Hong Kong. And in the past, the Dongjiang water has supported the city's prosperity development and also the economic growth. Therefore, in this year, we organize a series of celebration activities so as to, on one hand, to show our immense gratitude to our motherland. And on the other hand, we want to deepen the public the understanding of the importance of the Dongjiang water and the history.
I mean, firstly, we're all very grateful. And of course, we would love to know more about our water supply.
Yeah, so how did the agreement to supply Dongjiang water to Hong Kong come about, and what were the key challenges back then?
I think I have to fast backward to 60 years ago. In 1963, Hong Kong suffered a very severe drought, and the annual rainfall at that time was only 1/3 of the average annual nowadays. So the people have suffered a lot from the water scarcity problem. Therefore, to cope with this, the Hong Kong government had reached a consensus with the province of Guangdong so as to see whether they can supply water to Hong Kong via the Dongjiang. By the end of 1963, our premier at that time, Mr. Zhou Enlai, signed an agreement to transport water from Dongjiang to Hong Kong. And this was a very challenging task. If we want to transport the water from the nearest tributes to Hong Kong, we have to build artificial water channels. That is 83 kilometers. And more importantly, the river current flowed from south to north. We had to revert the river currents. Just imagine at that time, they lack enough machines to do so. And also, they need to provide water to Hong Kong as early as possible because they want to solve the problem of Hong Kong as early as possible. So they just finished the project in 11 months. That is, for this scale of project, 83 kilometers and penetrate 6 mountains and lift the water from 2 meters to 40, 60 meters. They just used 11 months to complete the project. So it was indeed a miracle. And since then, with the supply of Dongjiang water, it solved the water scarcity problem in Hong Kong. And with this reliable supply of water, Hong Kong people enjoy this continuous supply to support its economic development and the population growth.
So let's move on to more recent developments. The Total Water Management Strategy was updated in 2019 to put emphasis on water demand management and supply diversification. So how has technology been integrated to achieve these goals?
Yes, for the total water management, we use a two-pronged strategy. One is to contain the water demand of Hong Kong by means of water conservation, and also to reduce the water loss of our network. And on the other side, we diversified our water resources so that to make it more flexible to cope with the nowadays many uncertainties, particularly the climate change. So with the diversified water supply portfolio, we can cope with this challenge. And I would like to talk more on the control of water demand by means of water conservation. But nowadays, we have technologies, okay? We can install some sensors into our water network. And with the sensors and also the data analytics nowadays, and as well as the cloud technology, we can work out a virtual model of the water so that we can know exactly how the water perform or what is the water pressure, water flow within the network. It is very important for us. Why? Because Hong Kong actually is suffered from a very high water pressure. We need to maintain high water pressure. It is because Hong Kong is a mountainous territory. We have to supply water to a very high buildings at the top of the mountain maybe. Okay, so we have to maintain a very high water pressure. And just like human being, if you have high high blood pressure, you have lots of problem. But so for water pressure, if we have high water pressure, it will have more leakage and also have more birth incidents. So in this few years, we have used technology so as to build model. And with this model, we can know in real time how water flow and what is the water pressure within the network, so that we can intervene precisely how to manage the pressure at each place, so that to maintain the pressure is just adequate, okay, adequate to supply the pressure to the buildings at some high level, but at the same time not too much, so as to reduce the leakage. So I think with this intelligent pressure management, we can save a lot of water in our network.
I mean, that is a lot of expertise and skills right there.
Yeah, exactly. Now, Roger, the construction of the Changquano desalination plant has been highlighted as a key climate resilient water supply initiative. Could you explain how this plant operates and its contribution to water security in Hong Kong?
I have just mentioned that we have also to adopt a strategy of diversified supply so as to cope with the climate change. Desalination is still the one which is the only one that is not affected by the climate change, because seawater will not be affected by the climate change. With the desalination plant, we can use the seawater and turn it into potable water. But I would like to stress that desalination water is not as environmentally friendly as the river water because it uses a lot of energy so as to filter the salts out from and to make the fresh water. So it uses a lot of energy, so it is not environmental friendly, but we still need to have this as one of the measures to cope with some very exceptional circumstances, particularly when the river basin is shortage of water.
Yeah, but I think I guess this is the only way, as you said, it's not affected by climate change. So I guess it's one of the ways out to having the resources. Yeah.
Now, grey water recycling is also an innovative addition to the total water management strategy. Are there plans to scale up grey water recycling facilities in other parts of our city?
As compared with desalinated water, this is cheaper, but at the same time, its use is limited because still nowadays, I think people will find it hard to drink reused water from sewage. Okay, nowadays we have one grey water reclamation plant, but we will use grey water and also reclaimed water as the major source of water for flushing and non-potable use in the northern metropolis area. That is also aligned with our national standard.
Now, I'm sure there are so many other aspects to handle in, regarding this great topic of water. Now, referring to the roadmap for smart water management, how do smart water technologies such as digital metering, AI-driven analytics help improve water efficiency and reduce wastage?
Yes, frankly speaking, our brotherhood cities, in many mainland cities, just like Hangzhou, Shanghai, they have already built a very smart network and saved a lot of not only water but also energy, because water to pump the water from one place to another place, we have the pumping station and use a lot of energy. And with this intelligence, I mean the AI analytics and also the sensors, we can also optimize the pumping operation. That save a lot of energy for us. For the water network, in the first quarter this year, we have completed the installation of the 2,400 district metering areas all over Hong Kong. It represents 80% of our freshwater supply network. And with these district metering areas, we can monitor the water loss. So with this information, we can gather all this information in a supercomputer. And with the supercomputer, we can know how much water loss in each compartment. We can prioritize our work. Repair work so as to stop the leakage. To give you an information, 5 years ago, annually we detect about 500 to 600 leaks. Okay, but nowadays we can detect 1,200 leaks. That is double. Double. So with the water intelligence network in place, we can save a lot of water. But we are not complacent. Okay. We want to make it more perfect. So we are now having a plan to upgrade this water intelligence network. And as I have mentioned, nowadays it covers 80% of our freshwater network. We also want to cover the remaining 20% of the freshwater distribution network. And also for the trunk system, we also will install sensors into it so that it will cover every part of the distribution network and the trunk network. And besides, for those sensors, we will get it upgraded as well. Nowadays, it is just very static, okay? But we will replace it with some dynamic sensors so that it can get the dynamic information So that will be further enhance the leakage detection performance.
I guess there really are a lot of goals to achieve in the future, right?
Yeah.
So looking ahead, what emerging technologies do you see as game changers for Hong Kong's water supply system in the next decade?
There are 3 areas, okay? Smart water should be one of them. We should continuously use more AI, more advanced sensors, more data analytics, more cloud computing, so that we can make our system more intelligent and know more about our system, so that we can control it better, so that save water as well as energy. The other one is the membrane technologies. We have to treat the water. The traditional way is to use the sand and gravels and also activated carbon for filtering. Nowadays, our mainland cities have many new trials in use of membrane, just like the desalination water. Desalinated water, they use membrane, and there are many good membranes at affordable price that can be used. I think this will be a next important area that we have to look into. And the third one, of course, is robotics. We need to have more robotics, particularly to help us inspect, to carry out pipeline inspection, and also supervision of some of our water treatment works, and also for the reservoir, we can do an inspection.
Now, finally, Roger, what message would you like to share with the citizens of Hong Kong about the importance of water resources?
To me, water is more than resources, because to name it as resources, we just highlight its utilization value. But I would say that water has its intrinsic value, because water is very playful indeed. You can use it, you can swim. There are many water culture indeed. For example, the wine, the tea is also
from water.
From water, good tea. Okay, in Chinese, many people talk about this, and so it has a very rich meaning. Okay, and most importantly, our body, okay, comprise 70% of water. Okay, so without water we cannot exist. So we should respect water. I think we should respect water and think that it is not just a resource, it is very vital elements for ourselves.
So thank you, Roger, for telling us about the infrastructures and also initiatives that are essential to our daily lives. We look forward to seeing more technologies being employed by the Water Supplies Department so that our vibrant city can continue to thrive with a secure water supply.